welcome. My name is Martin Tubu. On the 16th of January 2023, the Martin Luther King's Day was celebrated across the United States of America. But on the 14th, that's 2 days before the day, there was an awards ceremony organized by the Mayor's Youth Leadership Institute Alumni Association in Washington, D.C. for the DC MLK Essay Contest 2003. And so today we are going to be showing you highlights of the event and a chart we had with the winners, parents, judges, and organizers of the event. Please stay.
When I think of the I Have a Dream speech, I think of a wish or a hope that things will get better. Martin Luther King said, 50 years ago, a great American in whose shadow we stand today signed the Emancipation Proclamation. Later, King goes on to talk about how black men and women are still not free. I think when MLK said, I have a dream, it meant that he wanted everyone to take the final step. They took the first step to end slavery. He wants people to take the final step and to end segregation and to end unfair laws for black men and women. The I Have a Dream speech means to me that black men and women have a wish that they can be free. A wish that they won't just be free, but will be free of unfair laws. When MLK made his speech about unfair laws, they were different. Things were different. Black men and women were separated from white men and women and had different schools, neighborhoods, stores, and restaurants. One of the really bad things is that the stuff for the black men and women was not nearly as good or fancy as the stuff that was for the white men and women. From my personal experience, I never had this problem. First, because those laws have been mostly resolved, and second, because even if those laws had not been dealt with by now, I would not have had to deal with it because of my skin color. I would not have a complete perspective of the other side of the page. Something that would make King happy right now is that he said, I have a dream that black boys and black girls would play with white boys and white girls. And in my life, that part of his dream has been fulfilled. In my school, I have a very diverse class with a lot of black and white kids that play together. Even though all of this has been said, we still have more to work on, like the fact that black and white people are sometimes paid differently, even if they're doing the exact same job. We can use MLK as inspiration to keep going. We shouldn't just stop here. You and I can make a difference to peaceful protests or just being nice in general.
Have you ever desired something so profoundly that you attempted to do the impossible to achieve your aspiration? If so, you can relate to legendary, noble, and renowned Martin Luther King Jr., who was embedded in our history. Martin Luther King had one primary dream in life, which was to eradicate all forms of discrimination and oppression against African Americans and other minorities. To fight racism, King led a successful nonviolent movement against an entire system ruled by a long history of oppression and intimidation. What Martin Luther King did was unimaginable because most people who opposed racism were too afraid to fight. They witnessed lynchings, beatings, and other horrors of the times committed against African Americans and choose to stay quiet. But not King. King's achievements made him one of the most well-respected African Americans in history.
And there's a couple quotes that I want to talk about, but then I would be remiss if I didn't talk about Marion Barry, who, Aaron, wave your hand, my son is back there, who's in the program. And when dinosaurs roamed the earth, I got my first job from Marion Barry in the Summer Youth Employment Program. So my first job ever came from him. And so when I think about when I moved my business from Connecticut Avenue and L Street to Good Hope Road at MLK, that was on purpose. Because I wanted to be a part, I've invested in the building over there, and wanted to be a part of, can I sit back and watch a community sit back and not be invested in if I've been blessed to be able to grow a business, have 250 folks in my company, and say, you know what, how can I make sure I see an opportunity and grant the opportunity for other people to be able to achieve some of the things and go way beyond the opportunities that I've ever had.
Hello, winners! Hello, winners! Standing in this room are the greatest, most
So we did ask the winners, the organizers, judges, and parents what Martin Luther King's dream meant to them.
Dr. Martin Luther King's dream means to me is that it was a call for them to understand to fight systematic racism because they couldn't have the same things that white people could have, and it just wasn't fair.
To me, it means like a wish or a hope that things will get better from what it was when MLK was alive.
Dr. King's dream to me means that he wanted to end all types of marginalization, racism, and prejudice against African Americans and other minorities.
What Dr. King's dream meant to me after reading the essays and after understanding the messages that the young people were sharing, it's all about equality. It's all about participation. It's all about looking out for one another. And that's really what the message is. It's all about being on a balanced playing field with each other and looking out for each other. And regardless of where we come from, we can all move towards the same goal. And so that's what that message meant to me. And that's what the contest meant to me.
For me, Dr. King's dream is about passing the baton and understanding that a baton has been passed to me to do great things, but it's also up to me to pass the baton to the next generation, to ensure that the next generation is equipped to grab the baton, to ensure that the next generation is prepared to take things like the MLK Essay Contest to the next level and our communities to the next level. It's about unity regardless of where in the city young people come from, whether you're a native Washingtonian or a transient. It's about unity within the community and ensuring that all of our people move forward and reimagine the dream and work until victory is won.
The dream was a proclamation of hope and a desire for equitable society that brought peace, love, and unity. But more importantly, the opportunity for all of us to advance and prosper in America. It was a declaration that we determined to be free now and henceforth.
Every time I think about him, I think about this was a man who believed in something so strongly. I would say there are only a couple of people I know that would be willing to give their life for me. And it was, as they say, Jesus Christ was one, I thought my dad was one, and Dr. King is one. And none of them are with us anymore, but Dr. King actually gave his life for a cause that would benefit the unborn.
So why did you enter the contest, and how has your participation impacted you?
I decided to enter because I thought it would be a cool thing and a cool opportunity to write an essay and have my voice heard.
This was my first time participating in the MLK essay competition. My experience was fun, and it was kind of like going to church, how we were standing up and the inspirational quotes.
I go to Landon School. I'm in the 10th grade. I decided to enter this contest because I was told that, one, it was mandatory, so that's also one. Two, also, I love writing essays personally. It's one of my hobbies. I like writing just in general. So I figured I feel I'd do well. And I just wanted to do something out of the ordinary and just participate in things, trying to show service for like the MLK weekend and things like that. Well, me being African American, I just want to just work on trying to end this stigma and like oppression that we have as a minority, and this social justice and inequality. So I just want to, me personally, do my part by representing the black community well and living up to his legacy.
So we have one of the parents, Taisha. Taisha, I would like to ask you, what's your child's name, and how, in your opinion, has Dr. Martin Luther King's dream impacted your child's life?
My son's name is Amari Atiero,
and he is an 8th grader at Jefferson Middle Academy. He was diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder, high functioning, when he was about 4 years old. However, just to see the young man that he is growing into now at 13 years old, I just know that he's definitely going to be a leader in his own right. He's already a leader, I believe, already himself within his school. He's not a follower. He doesn't go with the crowd. He's what they consider one of the good boys at school. Great student, all A's and B's. He participates in sports, and he's not afraid to speak up for himself. He's not afraid to advocate for himself. And I think that in itself exudes MLK's message in his dream.
As a parent, why was it important for your child to enter the contest?
So I am actually alumni of the Mayor's Youth Leadership Institute. So when I first found out about the essay contest last year, I told him straight up, like, you have to participate. You have to show them that, you know, this is something that we actually teach you at home, and, you know, just putting your name out there because you're going to be in this program someday. And I want them to know who you are now, and I want them to see your potential now. So that way, once you actually start the program, and he should be starting not this summer, but the following summer, that they'll already have a rapport with him and be able to bring out of him what they were saying in the message today in the program, the throwing the stone at him for him to throw at someone else. So I'm very proud of him for participating 2 years in a row. Like I said, last year he won first place. This year he did not place, but that was just more energy and just excitement just to push him forward to do better for next year when he enters in the high school division.
So what's the takeaway for you in living the MLK's dream?
It taught me so many things. It brought on so many different friendships, so many different relationships, and it just taught me so much, not just about my city, but about my history, Black history, and the Black history within the District of Columbia. And that just made me want to know more and do more. So anytime that anyone from MYLI asks me to volunteer for anything, I'm like, okay, what do I need to do? What do I need to do? I'm ready and I'm there for it. Just like I didn't even know I was gonna have to do this interview till literally 5 minutes before I did it, but I'm open and willing to do whatever I have to do. I'm always willing to volunteer. I'm always willing to put my best foot forward because I just feel like this is the community that brought me up, and I should give back and pour back into it. So that's my part that I play, you know, living out MLK's dream.
So we have one of the organizers, Denise. Denise, why did the DC MLK committee decide to organize this contest?
So, as you know, we established the Martin Luther King, or the MLK Holiday DC Committee. And the committee is a group of volunteers who came together about, I guess it was 16 years ago. It's evolved over the years to really put together a peace walk. The peace walk turned into a parade, peace walk and parade. It's turned into a peace walk, parade, and prayer breakfast. But most importantly is the peace walk, parade, prayer breakfast, and the essay contest. And so we were so excited when Kimry and Philip and Norman came to a meeting and said, look, we want to do an essay contest. We said, great, this is a great piece to include because, you know, as you know, a lot of us that are involved in the committee have been around for a little while. And to make sure that we had younger folks and children involved in, because it's important for us to teach them about Dr. King, but also for them to learn on their own and to give their opinions about what's going on in the world.
And what would you say Dr. King's dream has been on the young people as encapsulated in this contest?
Well, you know, Dr. King's legacy, I'll say, first of all, was really based in hope. That if we put the work in, what we wanted for ourselves and our family and for our community, for our nation, we could achieve. And so I think by having young people involved in the program, one, lets them see, and how Dr. King's words, which I think it's just so amazing that there's so many resources out there. There's so many places they can go and hear his message, his quotes, read his books. I mean, and that to me is inspiring for some of the essayists who are in the program who understand, they can read because somebody wrote, right? So, or Dr. King was a writer. We didn't really emphasize that much, but he was. And so, and then to see how it has grown from maybe 60-some participants now to over 100, which knocks out the belief that young folks can't write, don't want to write, they don't want to read. I mean, nobody can be a better advocate for them than themselves. So I think that this essay contest and this program really helps to, one, keep Dr. King's dream alive, continues his legacy, and and gives us a better respect of the young people that we're bringing into this world.
And here we have one of the judges, Paul. Paul, can you tell us your roles as a judge and how you have been inspired?
So what inspired me to participate and read the essays and be a judge was that, and I hope I don't steal this away from any of your next questions, but I am a previous member, participant of the Marion Youth Leadership Institute, which is now MYLI, the Mayor's Youth Leadership Institute, and I'm a runner, so I participated in the mayor's Fresh Start 5K, and I ran into one of my old directors, Norm Nixon, and he asked me to participate, and just to give back was one of the reasons why I wanted to do this. I wanted to assist with being a part of the community, because the community assisted with my life and and where I am in my life. So,
and here we have one of the officials of the institute, Dr. Nicole Johnson Douglas. So what would you say is unique about this year's contest, Doctor?
This year, I had the opportunity of serving as co-chair for the DC MLK 2023 Student Essay Contest. And this year, it has been amazing because it's the first year that we have been able to get over 100 entries into the essay contest for students grades 4 through 12 from all 8 wards, from all sectors of education here in the District of Columbia, to include our homeschool population as well as our private traditional public school and public charter schools. So it's been an amazing experience that we attribute to lots of unity within our different organizations that supported us, including the Divine Nine organizations of the National Pan-Hellenic Council, as well as the Order of Eastern Stars and the Masons.
And looking back, what was your best moment in organizing this year's contest?
I think for me, my best moment of the MLK DC Student Essay Contest was going into our entry portal and seeing that we had over 100 essays. As the co-chair, I don't have the opportunity of reading the essays ahead of time, but just knowing that we had over 100, that was my aha moment, that indeed DC's youth have spoken and that their voice is to be heard and needed to be heard.
So can you tell us about the Mayor's Youth Leadership Institute Alumni Association?
So I serve as the first vice president of the Mayor's Youth Leadership Institute Alumni Association, which is the alumni organization that houses the thousands of young people and not so young people that have been through what is now known as the Marion Barry's Youth Leadership Institute, that was founded in 1979. Our organization was founded in 2014, and since we were founded, we started working with DC MLK Weekend. And about 6 years ago, we took on the task of leading the charge of producing the essay contest for the MLK Weekend here in Washington, D.C. And it has been an opportunity for us to bridge the gap of generations from 1979 alumni all the way to alumni that are as new as the 2022 alumni. This is special work to me because my parents were a part of the very first class of the Mayor Barry's Youth Leadership Institute in 1979. And so I oftentimes call myself a legacy participant, and I'm committed to continuing this work until my children are able to become a part of the same organization, which has produced many leaders here in the District of Columbia.
And what's your parting word as we come to the end of another commemorative year in partnership with the DC Department of Employment Services?
The award ceremony this year, I'm grateful for the opportunity to have worked with our young people, and it was amazing to see a packed house and to see so many people come out to support our young people and to see representation of all of the Divine Nine organizations who also served as our judges this year, and so that attributed to our effort to ensure that there is unity within the community.
And here is one of the anchor persons of the ceremony, Camry Hooks. Now, Camry, how has the DC MLK Essay Contest evolved?
I am the outreach coordinator for Marion Barry Youth Leadership Institute. I'm a member of the Mayor's Youth Leadership Institute Alumni Association Board of Directors and a member of the Martin Luther King Holiday Committee, Martin Luther King Holiday DC Committee. And I've been a part of the committee since its existence, and for a number of years we have attempted to do an essay contest to engage young people and make sure that they were able to participate in the overall holiday week activities, and it wasn't as successful. And so about 6 years ago, the president of our Alumni Association, Norm Nixon Sr., and myself, we were at a meeting and we volunteered to take control of organizing it. One, because we are connected to Marion Barry Youth Leadership Institute, where we have young people from all aspects of the city, all 8 wards, all socioeconomic background, and almost every school a part of this program. And so we felt like it was the right place. And so for the last 6 years, we have coordinated the activity. We have sponsored it, and we've increased every year. This year, I'm proud to say that we had over 106 contestants in the essay contest, with them coming from elementary, middle school, and high school. The largest group of youth that participated this year were our middle school students. And the reason we do this essay contest, what we realize is that, one, our young people have a deficiency of writing. And so we, felt like this would be an opportunity to get them to exercise writing skills, but more importantly, research skills. And how can you better learn about something than doing research, writing, and then articulation of it? And so to make sure that the legacy and life of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was embedded in the young people's heads, we felt like this essay contest was a great way to do that. But more importantly, it gave us an opportunity, or gives us an opportunity, to see what the young people are thinking about the issue. If there's a clip of Dr. King after his I Have a Dream speech in 1964, he was being interviewed. And Dr. King really talked about, one, what does emancipation mean to the Negro? But more importantly, he was asked about what does he feel has happened since his dream was articulated in 1963. And he answered to some extent that, in all honesty, the dream has turned oftentimes into a nightmare. And so that's 1964. We fast forward to 2023, and we see that while the dream has materialized some things, we're still in the state of nightmarishness. And we see the escalation of hate and the perpetration of crime against black folks, not only by citizens, but by law enforcement, or what we call government-sanctioned lynching. And so that tells us that while the dream has been realized to some extent, we still have a lot to do. And so that's what we thought would be great about having the youth participate in it. And one, it gives them a reason to examine history and learn more about the history and legacy of Dr. King, but more importantly, to weigh in and articulate what their visions are for today.
Can we evaluate the progress over the years?
So since the 6 years that we've done it, you know, technology has helped us tremendously, but the most important aspect is having young people to participate. Norman and I both are 60 years old, and so I was a dinosaur when computers came out. In high school, we didn't have computers, and so when we first started, we did the old way, collecting them through email and collecting the essays through emails and cataloging them and creating spreadsheets. And our first vice president, Dr. Nicole Johnson, has a platform that she used called Jot, and that made it simple. I don't get involved with the essay portion of it a great deal because I am a staff member of the Youth Leadership Institute, and for the integrity and sanctity of the process, so no one can ever say that I influenced it, I stay away from the essay portion of it because we have a bunch of youth leadership participants playing in it. But I can tell you that communicating to the young people, getting the word out to the teachers and school administrators, to the community, it's a major effort to try to get to those numbers. I can tell you we reached out to maybe 3,000 young people to net us the 106 essays this year. I can say that we have great relationships with some community organizations, but it's tedious. One, collecting, communicating, making sure that we organize the process, and to keep the integrity, we identify judges that are not associated with any program that we have. This year we were fortunate to get the Divine Nine and the Order of the Eastern Star and Masonic Order to be part of the judging. And our process is set up so that the judges don't know the name. So we really try to make sure that this process cannot be questioned, and the integrity, and to use one of my mentors' words, the veracity of this process can't be questioned.
So how do you motivate winners? I mean, what are the prizes there to win?
Well, each first, second, and third prize has a cash prize towards it. The first prize place winner wins $300, second place $200, and the third place is $100. Each of our contestants for the last couple of years, we try to give them a gift. Each one that enters, we try to give them a gift card of about $10. They get a plaque and a certificate. The winners, particularly the first place winners, and maybe this year first, second, and third place winners, are featured in the Washington Informer newspaper the following week. And so we're excited about that. There may be an interview post the holiday activities with the winners. And over the 6 years, we've had a number of contributors. Last year, we had some funders who were so inspired the day of the presentation of the essay contest that two of them offered additional $300 for the first place winners, moving them from a $300 prize to a $900 prize. And our role in this is to help to elevate the voices of our young people and students.
And that's how much we have for you today on the show. I'll see you some other time with another exciting package. My name remains Martin Sobo. Thanks for watching.